for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senators Bobby Ryan and Jason York.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Coming In Hot. Brent Wallace alongside Jason York and Bobby Ryan. Gentlemen, good afternoon. It's game day.
I guess I just can't get over the entrance when I see Yorkie fighting. it's been a week and I still can't do it.
We had to find archived footage of this.
You know who that was? That was I actually remember that fight. That was Jason Allison. Remember him, Bob?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Jamie, sorry, not Jason. Jamie Allison, the big tall guy that used to play for Boston, played for the Kings.
Never the Devils. You know who I'm thinking about is who was the guy that played for the Devils and then the Rangers?
Bobby Holik?
Yes. So yes, and he lives in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I got to know him well after the fact.
He's a great guy, eh?
Yeah.
Is he a good guy?
One of the best people I've ever met. And I actually gave him his last concussion in the NHL.
Wow.
How'd that happen?
I wish it was cool and I wish I hit him or I wish I punched him or anything, but he got whiplash from a stick. So it wasn't that cool. Really not that cool. Yeah.
Yorkie,
Oh,
I'm trying to look this
What?
up here. Did you only have one NHL fight?
No, it's wrong. I don't know why it says that because I had a fight with Danica. I had a fight. Well, Odeline made me fight him.
So
That's
this is
the one that's
Jason
on
Allison,
YouTube.
by the way. So, but I'm just going to tell you,
Jason,
you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games with more than 5 penalty minutes, and only 3 of them are over 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
I had another one in Toronto. Yeah. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
I'm wondering if they're just double minors.
You're just doing your
You
best.
got
that one. I was throwing bombs in that one.
Yeah, no, those haymakers.
Pillow fight.
I don't know how they found this. Anyway, good afternoon. Speaking of fighting, as we get into the Montreal game, I'll get to our locks and stuff, but Arbor Xhekaj has been called up. Hasn't played since November 16th in the NHL. Is that because this Montreal Canadiens are scared of the Ottawa Senators right now?
What do you think, Bob?
What
did you say? You getting threats over there?
Yeah, I'm just sorry guys. I don't think they're scared. I don't think anybody's scared of the Ottawa Senators. Let's be honest. I think that the last time that they played, there were mixed emotions and there were some reasons for calling. There are reasons to put him in the lineup for sure, but Montreal's not trying to win games. Let's be honest, right? They're horrific.
Well, tell that to Marty St. Louis.
Well, he has to know this team sucks. Like I don't want to be rude, but your elite goal scorer has 7 goals. Like you're not preparing for this. I think that it's a move to try to mitigate Brady, and he doesn't give a shit. Like he doesn't care. He's gonna run. How do you pronounce his last name?
Xhekaj.
Yeah, he's gonna run him just like he's gonna run anybody else. It's a move to try to mitigate him, and it's not going to change Brady's day one bit. I understand you want to insert some toughness in a rivalry game, but it doesn't change anything, does it? To you, Yorkie? No. Does it really change anything? He's not good.
Well, and here's the thing:
you just push the puck behind him and drive around him, and you're going to win the battle 100 times.
And let's be honest, intimidation doesn't really exist in today's NHL. No one's afraid of having to fight somebody. Like there's nobody having sleepless nights before a game thinking about, I got to fight this guy, because that's how it used to be, because I know guys, and we all know the story of all the enforcers and tough guys. I know great guys, but it's different. And I will say this, I was following Xhekaj a little bit. He was actually playing pretty good in the minors. So I think it's twofold. It's good timing. He has been playing well down there, and they've been bullied by Ottawa. Look at the record. Ottawa's had so much success, and Ottawa usually has their way with them. They push them around physically. So you bring up Jack-Eye. This is a great golden opportunity for, who's absolutely on a heater right now. Zach McEwen. Like he's starting to play some of his best hockey. Got a goal the other night, playing really well. It'd be great for him if there's going to be a fight. Zach McEwen fight Jack-Eye. Guys in the room will like it. No, and only if it presents itself. Don't go looking for it. But if Jack-Eye tries to get in there with Braiders, that's why you sign Zach McEwen. And this, to me, would be another great little thing for McEwen to kind of keep moving up in this pecking order, because that would go a long way if you do something like that.
So, like you and I are generally on the same. We agree a lot, but the only reason I disagree is like that guy's a non-factor. Like
I agree. Yes, 100%. I'm saying only if it presents itself. Only if he's trying to. You know what I mean?
Yes, there is zero reason for Brady Tkachuk not to run everybody through the boards, because on top of this, Brady could fight him. Brady's in this weird spot, and I will liken it to the fact that like I fought when I had to. I wasn't ever looking. It just sometimes it presented itself. I happened to play on a line with Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf, right? And we were arguably the best line in the NHL for whatever you want to call it, 2 or 3 years. But you have 90, 70, and 60 points. Like we were the top line, but we were all 6'2". And this is where it gets weird, is like your top 6 doesn't want to fight Brady Tkachuk. You cannot fight Brady Tkachuk. You're going to lose if you're in the top 6. If you're in the bottom 6, you don't want to fight Brady Tkachuk either, because the guy's tough as nails.
Yeah.
We weren't that, but we were 6'2", and we had a puncher's chance. Like, if you beat us up, you're supposed to, right? And if you lose the fight, it doesn't look good on you. Like, there's really nothing for him to go ahead and say, I want to fight Brady Tkachuk because I'm going to take him off the ice for 5 minutes. You could also lose the fight. And then you're going back to the minors because you can't fight and you can't play either. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, Brady's in this really weird category where the top 6 don't want to fight him. The bottom 6 really don't want to fight him. And this is why I am always a proponent of Brady picking his spots way more going forward.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Like don't waste 5 minutes on a guy like that. Just leave him. He's not a good player. Just leave him.
Yeah. Hey, if you're gonna fight Trouba, absolutely.
Yes.
Center ice.
Yeah.
New York, Madison Square Garden, absolutely. It fires up both teams. It's great.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
But Jack-Eye, it's a hard pass.
Just leave him out there and then chip the puck past him.
Yeah.
He's in the minors for a reason. He's not in the minors because he's not like he's not in the minors because he's good. Sorry.
3 games against the Sens in his career, he's -5 with 2 PIMs. So it's not like he's gone out. But if you've been called up and haven't played since November, is it's his job, right, to go find somebody?
Yeah. Oh boy, he's coming in.
So Jacques and Yorkie, you had this. If you remember, under Jacques had a rule: you couldn't fight unless you were up 2 goals. Correct?
It wasn't.
Definitely later in his career, you had to be up 2 goals to fight. And I'm wondering if Brady's down 2, would that be enough for him to be able to go after?
Yeah, I still think that's why McEwen's here. That is Zach McEwen's job to take care of business like that. Like I said, I don't want Brady ever fighting Jack-Eye. It's just not worth it unless he's on the ice and nobody else is on the ice and he absolutely destroyed Stutzler or someone like. Then that's a different story. But just going out to fight somebody like that it's a horror. Here's the thing with fighting: it's like every time you take a punch at someone's helmet, you can break your knuckle. Like you can break your hand. Like it's that easy. Why do it against a guy like him? Like I'm saying, Trouba, you want to fight Mark Scheifele when you're playing Winnipeg, something like that. That's different. Yes. But this, I would never if I'm the coach, I'm going to Brady not on game day, but I'm going the day before practice. I'm like, listen, I know you could do well, but under no circumstances do I want you fighting him. I'd make it clear.
Actually, hey, when you think about this, like how many captains in the league can you go to and be like, please don't do this? Please don't. Jamie Benn, right?
Jamie Benn.
Like,
Shifley. Shifley's not a captain. He's an assistant captain.
But like you don't have a lot of teams don't have the luxury of walking to their captain and be like, hey, you're our heart and soul. You're also the best goal scorer we have. Not statistically or whatever, but like you're the guy that is going to score in the crunch time. Please don't do this. And I have a feeling you have to beg Brady not to do it the day before a game. Cause like Brady's walking around like this right now. He's walking around like Conor McGregor and he's like, I'm just going to dust this guy on top of scoring one tonight. And you have to have to pull that back, right?
Listen, he loves playing against the Habs, right? We all have seen the statistics, but to be at center ice in the Bell Center with the moms in attendance.
Are the moms there tonight too?
Yeah.
I think it doesn't help that his mom stands in the crowd like this.
Well, listen, he's like 100%. Like Montreal passed on him. Like he's thinking about. I bet he still thinks about that and says, you know what? I'm going to take it and I'm going to rub your head right in the sand again, and you're going to like it.
Yeah,
I think he goes.
So you think he's fighting tonight?
Yeah. No, you do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna beg him not to win the game 4-3 and don't expose your hands. But yeah, if I'm gonna bet, he's gonna fight. So,
remember how excited he was to fight at MSG at center ice with Jacob Trouba squaring off? Like this is, I think, just one of those moments.
I'm praying no. I'm praying no.
I want to see it. I actually want it. It would be great. Like I'm going
to watch viewers. But that's your captain.
And that's why he can handle it.
Actually, you know what?
That's why people love him.
Go ahead and do it. We have to get the first overall pick.
Yeah, really. Like, come on. Like, what are we?
Yeah, fair enough.
Entertain us.
Big old pillow fight.
So speaking of dusting, getting the dust up going, is there any carryover from the nonsense of the Brendan Gallagher, Tim Stützle issue from the last game? It wasn't much of really anything, but if Brendan Gallagher goes after Tim Stützle, is there a response?
Gallagher's not going after Stützle. Gallagher, every single shift for Gallagher, he's getting into something. It might not be on camera, but he's just nonstop. It's just another day at the office for him. That's how the guy plays. That's how he's thrived. I think he wakes up. What's next? And he'll probably be into it with somebody else. But yeah, no, there's nothing. To me, there's nothing there.
So I'm not a Gallagher fan. I don't I don't appreciate the way he plays, but I for damn sure think that there's a reason for why he's so good at what he does. He's a poor man's Brad Marchand. Like Brad Marchand scores 38 and Brendan Gallagher scores 15. Like
but Brad Marchand's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes. So that's why I said poor man's. But man, he's I played against him for a long time, and he's one of those guys that you kind of leave alone, right? Just let him be, and then all of a sudden he shows up. And he scored some big goals, Yorkie, over his career. Like he's not. Yeah. This is not an unserviceable player, right? This is a guy that knows exactly what he's doing, and maybe the best of it's passed him by when he scored.
Yeah, he's on the back. He's on the back line.
Yeah, and he's had some bad injuries, and like I can relate. Like
I thought you guys would be kindred spirits. He's like broken fingers almost as much as you.
Yeah, no, we're walking around with our 30s at 35 together. We're good. But I will say, Brendan Gallagher still has a really, really good place in the game to do exactly what he's doing. He's not going to score. He might score a dirty one in front of the net. Excuse me. He's not going to light the league on fire. He might score a dirty one, but he's supposed to bother Timmy Stützle.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what he's supposed to do. and being a guy that played against him, I have a ton of respect for the way he does it. He doesn't do it dirty. He's not a dirty player. It looks like that at times, and the way he presents himself looks like he's kind of shady. He's not. He's not. He'll tell you exactly what he is right in front of you. And truthfully, Yorkie, I thought he did that in front of Stützle last time they played. I mean, Stützle got off the ice. Like, I'm not calling Tim Stützle out. I'm just saying, Brendan will stand there and do his thing. So I'm not trying to defend a Montreal Canadian. I'm just saying that guy presents himself.
Job.
Yes, and he does it. He does it well. He does it well.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all I'm saying is for Ottawa, does someone go to Brendan Gallagher and just go, if you lay a hand on Tim Stützle this game, I will put my fist in your throat.
Yeah, he'll like that. That's what gets him going, though. That's what gets him going.
I was gonna say, try not to turn him on, because like he's also a guy that you just kind of let sleep. Like, let him do his thing. Let him be that guy. But you turn him on, you're in trouble. He was Chris.
I'd like to point out.
Yeah.
He's minus 21.
Got
8 goals, and he's got 3 more years at $6.5 million.
Yeah, but let's be fair. That team's been splitting fairways and hunting flags for the entire year.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just like these games because you never know what's going to happen.
You have no clue.
Right? And I don't know what it was like for you guys to play in them, but I would think even in the later years or the last few years, it's a much bigger rivalry than I even feel with Toronto, just because of where the teams are at in the standings and the recent playoff history.
I can only speak for my time there. I had a really tough time getting up to play Montreal comparatively to Toronto. It wasn't the same. There was just like a difference. I don't know why. But like, I went to play Toronto, and I knew Battle of Ontario were in, and then you would go play them, and they're right down the road as well. It just didn't feel the same to me.
I'm trying to remember. When you're that era, Bob, was Montreal a good team then?
No.
Yeah, wait. You had the playoff runs. Were you not there for?
Yeah, well, I wasn't there when the boys beat them in the playoffs for the Pesky Sens in 2012. I think it was.
But then. Was there not a next one, or was that before that?
Yeah, we lost in 6 to them.
Oh, Hamburglar.
Yeah, and then Hamburglar came out, and Andy went back in during that series. But it still never felt that way to me. Just like, I don't know. There's something about going into Toronto that was different than going into Montreal.
That series against Montreal with the hit, the Greiba hit, the lack of respect. That was awesome to watch.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It was so good. It was. And
they played 5 games in like 7 days. I've never been so disappointed for a series to be over so quickly, because every day there was something that came out from that series. It was my favorite series to cover by far. Anytime.
I thought it was real good too. But I do agree with Bob. There's always been that rivalry with Toronto. Even when I played, like it's just always been there. And the annoying thing is too, there are Montreal fans that come here, but the Toronto fans, they just the way they come and they take over rinks. I might have told you guys this story once. My buddy was at one of the playoff games when I was playing Toronto, and there was a Leafs fan just going to town, waving the Leafs fan. And my buddy, big guy, gets up, grabs the guy's Leafs flag in front of everybody, mimics that he's going to wipe his ass with it, and then breaks the flag in half and throws it. And the whole section starts cheering. Then the Leaf fans going nuts. It's Ottawa security. Kick the Leaf guy out of the game. My buddy got the standing O in the second. Oh, there's good stuff. That's the Duke. My buddy, the Duke.
Oh, yeah. It's just a lot of nonsense that happens at those games. I don't
know
so
much nonsense,
right? Like I don't want to be taking my kid to one of those games into the 300 level, because it just gets ridiculous.
Oh, you got to be tough in the 300 level though, Wally. You're not made for the 300 level.
No. I'm a 100 level kind of.
You're not. That's
Can you please bring me some peanuts?
You got to stand your ground up in the 300s there.
I can. No. All right.
I would absolutely, just before we move on, could you imagine? I would love to see Wally in a tilt I just want to see Wally in one.
No one wants to see that. No.
I would like. Would you pull the jersey up, or would you just like how would you start it?
You know what? Wally would be dirty. Wally would reach down and grab some sand and whip some sand in his eyes to blind him first, and probably try and kick him in the nuts, something like that.
I was going to say, Wally's a nut kicker.
I could see that. Eh? Try and just strike early.
Yeah, and then run.
So
I'm
good.
not standing in there going toe to toe.
Why not?
Exactly. Only if we go by the Anchorman rules, where you don't no hitting of the face.
No hitting in the face.
Okay.
I love the Anchorman rules. You remember that movie with George Clooney and the young guy that was in The Office, where they're like, you wouldn't punch a guy in the face, and then they're like, well, my shoulder's bad. Like they were football players, Leatherheads or something like that. And eventually they were just like, we're only allowed to punch each other right here. That's Wally.
Yeah. Speaking of pillow fights, can we move on now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Wally's not fighting anybody. We learned that.
I like to de-escalate the situation. Okay.
All right, go for it.
What do you got for us? What's next?
I don't know. Anyway, so the Sens are going into Montreal, as we've discussed. They've had a 7-game win streak. I'd just like to point out something about this 7-game win streak. So with that, it's today's Wendy's Did You Know, brought to you by Wendy's and the Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool. Shots on goal, goals against average, point per game, all that stuff can make or break your week, but don't overlook the BPMM. Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, which would be perfect right about now. Sure, it may not help you win weekly prizes with Wendy's and the Daily Face-Off Fantasy Pool, but unlike your prediction, it never disappoints. So try your luck, but don't push it, because the Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt is only back for a limited time. And if you miss it, you won't get a second chance. Sign up for the Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool today, sponsored by Wendy's and the Wendy's app. Make sure you download the Wendy's app and then go over to dailyfaceoff.com and click on the Survivor Pool. Wendy's, we keep it fresh. All right, here we go. So the Senators will look to win their 8th straight against Montreal tonight. They haven't lost since March 19th, 2002. That makes it the 3rd longest win streak against an opponent in franchise history. 9 against the Florida Panthers, 8 against the Islanders and Leafs, and then 7 against, there's actually 5 teams, Montreal, Washington, Pittsburgh, Tampa, and then the Leafs again at 7. So some rarefied air, if you will, for the Ottawa Senators against the Canadiens. So does that matter when you have a streak like that mentally when you go into a game?
I don't know. What do you think, Jerky?
Yeah, I've like stuff like that. Yeah, you have success, and there's certain rinks you play in, you just feel comfortable in. So it's obvious that Ottawa likes playing there. They feel good about it. But I just think they just match up so well against them, and they know it. Like they know that they're just like, if you look at both teams on paper, especially at the beginning of the year, you would say that Ottawa was the better team if you went man for man, and then here we are, because of how the season's worked out. They're behind them in the playoffs, but there's a mental edge I just think the Ottawa players have against them, and that's just something you have as a player, and you kind of get that. And yeah, sure, they know. I was never one to really look, hey, we beat them 7 in a row, so you know what, we got the chance. It's more like a feeling you have where you just know it, and I just feel that's the way the Senators are, and it comes. We spent the first 15 minutes talking about Brady. It starts with him. Yeah. It starts with him. Like he's the ringleader against Montreal, because he's got a lot of spite, and spite is very powerful and inside him from Montreal. They passed him over. Like,
it's funny.
He's not forgetting that.
He's not. And we're just clocking me now with 7 goals down in Carolina. So he remembers that. The only thing I will say is like the exact opposite. Like we used to go into Carolina, we're like, we can't win here. We just
about losing.
When you're,
I remember that you guys couldn't. Dude, it was brutal, eh?
We couldn't do it. And then what was scary to me? It was like, I hate playing in this building. It doesn't match up well for me. And then all of a sudden, somebody told me like a little deeper in my grid, they're like, do you realize that you had a lot of points here? And I was like, no, no, I did not know that. Like a lot of like assists over time. I don't know what it translates to or whatever, but like I had always gotten like a secondary assist in that building. I was like, you can walk away from nights like that. When you're losing, it matters more than when you're winning, doesn't it? Against the team.
Yes.
Yes. I
agree.
I completely feel that way. I don't think the Sens are going to walk into this game and think that we've dominated them. I just think that you're completely correct.
Bobby Ryan in Carolina, by the way. He played 13 games, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points.
Yeah. So half a point on the road. Yeah. Half a point on the road. And that's it. Yeah. And then a lot of places I've been hungover, and Carolina wasn't one of them. I can promise you that. wasn't wasted a night on that one. But there's somebody at some point in my lifetime is going to have to explain the wind tunnel to me. Yorkie, am I right, Yorkie?
I didn't really notice it till I started doing television. Wally, you know about that wind tunnel.
So my tie would come up and just be floating in front of me because it's so windy in the corners. It's the way that the air circulates through the building. It's just the way it's designed.
We used to stand up. We'd get all warmed up and then stand there, and you're like, "I'm freezing." Why?
So cold. So cold.
Yeah.
I don't like that building at all.
It's a terrible.
It's a great place for the coif, eh, Wally? For the hair.
Put more gel in that day. So it doesn't matter.
Who would you rank that? If you're going worst buildings, is that right up there for you guys?
Top 3. Yeah. For sure, top 3.
It is, and it's for me, like, because to get around that building, normally on the locker room level, like the main level, it's just a big oval and you can walk around pretty easy. You can't in that building for whatever reason.
I got the first time I ever met Eugene Melnick was in that building because we played a noon game there. Were you covering the team then, Wally, when we got snowed or whatever? Our game got canceled and moved to noon the next day.
Yeah, I wasn't on that trip, but yes, I do remember.
Yeah. So, and then we had to fly back and go to, is it Lac Lemay?
Lac Lemay?
Yeah. Anyway. Game ends. We played a noon game, and I'm walking down the hallway. I had not met Eugene Melnick at this point in my life. He comes ripping down in a golf cart, just having a great time. So he comes over. He goes, "Are you Bobby Ryan?" I go, "Yeah." "Are you Eugene?" He goes, "Yep." So we have this quick conversation. He goes, "I can't wait to talk to you at the end of the year." I go, "Cool, man. Are you the guy sending the paychecks?" And I won't go into the long and short of it, but he was having way more fun at a noon game than anybody I've ever watched. and then didn't even get on the plane with us home. Went back to Barbados.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
Apparently it was a beautiful spot.
I love that guy.
Well, we have different opinions.
Well, he paid me a lot of money, so
if he paid me that guy, I'd probably say something different too.
Could we have two people on? So that might be the most polar opposites right there for the feeling of one person. Wally, Bobby, with Melnick.
I could. There's a lot of stuff we could discuss. Moving on.
Eugene retired me. We'll call it even. So we're good.
Didn't have this on the nerd report. When we there's a report out today. We're coming back to the Montreal. Well, screw it. Let's just do the lock of the day. I'm going to move on to the Jacob Chicken stuff after. Okay, so let's get to the lock of the day. So as Ottawa prepares to win its 8th straight against the Montreal Canadiens, who Montreal, by the way, not very good at home, 9-11-3. What happens here tonight? Yorkie, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah. I was thinking there might be a letdown from Ottawa, but then I'm looking at the history and what I talked about, the mental advantage that the Ottawa has right now over Montreal when they play them. I can't go against Ottawa. I think they continue to take baby steps from What About Bob? Little rough efforts there. And I think they'll win this game. I just think things are going well. Moms are going to be there again. Moms have been the lucky charm on the mom's trip here. I think they'll get it done again. I just think this is the team that matches up the best in the NHL for the Ottawa Senators. They love playing Montreal, and they're going to continue to love playing against Montreal.
Am I seeing this right? That Montreal has lost 2 straight, and they have 15 goals against in the last 2.
They're bad.
Yeah.
So you got hung for a touchdown and a field goal. Like it's hard to argue against that.
They lost 9-4 at Boston, and of course the 6-2 game at Ottawa.
Part of me wants to take the home team in this battle because, like, did the guys come home? We talked about this before the show. Like, the guys came home, had the moms. Like, there's a chance for a letdown on that, right, Yorkie?
You don't let down mom. You don't let down mom.
Yeah, but they played Saturday, and they gave up 9. They gave up 9 to the Boston Bruins.
So
that's good work there when you're giving up 9.
Well, I'm going to just go ahead and think their bums are a little tight. I'm taking Montreal tonight.
Oh, look at this.
Yep. I'm taking Montreal just to piss off our fans.
Oh, no.
Oh, by the way, vote for the best podcast of the year with Brent Wallace.
I'm taking Ottawa.
So, you guys are going to make it. I'm 23-8, guys. Like I can't keep preaching that I'm the best at this.
Still a lot of runway left, Bob.
A lot of runway.
This
I'm
team
on a
is
heater.
turning things around to go 3-1-1 in his last 5 games.
I'm on a heater right now. Wally, you're spiraling right now, 16-15.
Well, I kept trying to believe in Ottawa, and they weren't coming through for me. But now Jacques has got this thing started to head in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm taking Montreal because I want to increase the lead for some reason, but I don't think they're going to win. But I'm taking them. I'm taking them. Okay. I love the way the Sens have started to. I told you 15 games. We're getting to 20 games. They're a better hockey team than they were a month ago.
Yeah,
I agree. So that's why.
But their goalies aren't. So I'm gonna.
I don't understand, Gavin. Do you have the last 5 games board? And if you don't, it's okay. But they play their power play and penalty kill doesn't make any sense to me. That they're 3-1-1 in their last 5 based on no goaltending. The penalty kill and power play are struggling as well. I think they're 1 for 14 in the power play in the last 5 games. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then their penalty kill is not bad. I should say. Sorry, they're 14 of 17 in the penalty kill.
Well, they very easily could have lost that game against Philadelphia. At the end of the day, that game came down to a very timely save. They get a save on the breakaway when the game's tied. 5 seconds later, Joseph Tarasenko, they got the lead. Like that just goes to show you how important goaltending is. It's key saves at a key time, and that's something they haven't. And you can get away sometimes with not having a good power play, and by getting those key saves at the right time. So hopefully who's starting tonight? Do we know yet? Who's starting tonight for Ottawa?
Should be Korpisalo.
I was going to say I thought it was him, but
Jacques said, "Listen, we've got some guys that are bumped up that we're not sure what's going to happen." Okay.
Is that a French accent you're trying there?
That was my Italian accent.
I heard it too, actually.
Yorkie, just tell me who the fourth line center is. Yorkie, can you just tell me who the fourth line center is today?
Fucking the old Sharks dog, Rourke. Yay! Look at him. Hey, he is. I didn't know he was a Buffalo Bill or a KC fan. See him shirtless up in the box there with Taylor Swift. Looked.
Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey and Rourke Chartier, 2 guys that haven't been seen in the same place before. What? They both got that great beard. Come on, you don't see it?
I don't know if it worked, but I love it. I love that we're trying.
Hey, how much of a beauty is Kelsey though? He was tailgating with the Buffalo fans, drinking beer out of a bowling ball. Then he's got no tarp on in the box.
Yeah. Tell me you're a Hall of Famer and you give 0 fucks. That guy just does it.
And you have the #1 podcast.
Yeah.
He's gonna just roll right into a nice cushy TV job too. You know that's coming next.
He's gonna be just fine.
Do whatever he wants. Yeah. Anyway, but he's very. I give him all the credit. He's very good at. Like he's built a great brand.
Yeah.
Like,
Meanwhile, we're here hanging out with Wally.
Watch it. Well, he's going to throw some sand in your face and kick you in the nuts.
No, it'll be salt.
I have to go up to. I just found this. Like, I've known that I had to go. Like, I have to get my haircut and put on a shirt to go do this thing live here at the All-Star game. I know.
Yeah.
You can wear a hat.
Can I?
Yeah, we're not dressing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, okay. All right. Don't tell me twice.
Fucking Ryan. You can do whatever you want.
That's fair. I can do whatever I want. All right.
For those that don't know, we're the three of us.
We haven't brought it up yet.
We made the All-Star. We made the All-Star game.
Yeah. This is great. I just thought that I don't have to get dressed or lose weight. Perfect. Yeah.
No, you're an All-Star, Bob. You can. Yeah, we haven't even talked about this yet, eh?
No,
going the All-Star
because I don't know what I'm allowed to say yet, so I haven't said anything. But yeah,
well, we got our travels booked. We're going. The hotels are booked.
Yeah, we're staying at the Residence Inn. We're fucking locked.
Life is at you fast, Bob.
What did you think when that email got sent to you about your accommodations?
I thought it was we would get on the bus to the Ritz from there, but okay.
No, that's not how it works anymore.
I'm with you guys. I'm in.
We'll be doing live shows from the All-Star weekend.
And this just in, I don't have to get a haircut, so I'm good.
No, it'll be great. It'll be our first shows together. We have I got some business to take care of, and so do you guys. Everybody's got a participation badge in today's show. First of all, the show proudly presented by Charm Diamond Centers. Proudly Canadian owned and operated since 1972 with more than 85 locations across the country through Charm and their sister brand. Super knowledgeable. Not sure what to get? Go see the staff at Charm Diamond Centers. They will hook you up. Get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece Program and unbeatable pricing policy. Listen, for any special occasion, Charm Diamond Centers is the crown jewel of beautiful pieces of jewelry, including a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, mined diamonds, and don't pay until 2025 with their instant in-store financing. For more information, go to charmdiamondcenters.com.
And as always, every single Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, the show is brought to you by Bonisher Excavating, heavy civil general contractor, both the public and the private sectors. You can find them at bonisherexcavating.com or give them a shout at 613-432-1120. When planning your next project, consider them for all of your aggregate supply needs. All things equipment rentals, hot mix paving, concrete formwork. They move stuff. If you're part of the team, free Hockey Friday. And then Yorkie, can you hear me? What's the last part?
I gotta get my
glasses.
Just
beside himself right now. I had to do it. Slow down, construction zones. Please slow down. Yeah, there he is.
Am I up here, fellas? All right. Battlegrounds axe throwing. Looking for a fun night out? Then check out Battlegrounds Axe Throwing. Great for the family, couples, and corporate groups. Kids 12 and up can throw for free, accompanied by a guardian. Looking for the ultimate birthday party, team building event, or just having a fantastic date night with your significant other? Then it's time to visit Battle Axe Throwing. 2615 Lancaster Road is where you can find them. It's safe, it's fun, and it requires absolutely no practice. Just come to a Battle Axe ground axe throwing facility, and the coaches will show you the ropes and show you how to hit the targets safely. You can book at battlegrounds.com.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Really glad both lenses work today, buddy.
Oh, God. I don't know, man. It's just like all of a sudden, like, I don't know about you, Wally, like 2 years ago, I can't fucking see anymore. Like,
I'm fine. I plus I prepped for the show. So
yeah, that helps. And we never got to do this, but Lindsay was very, very adamant that I go buy a pair of spectacles to wear on a show with you guys. So it's coming. It's coming very soon.
Okay, that would be good. Just no lenses, though. That would be just the frame, no lenses.
Okay, frame, no. I could do that.
Okay, gentlemen. Today in the Daily Faceoff, written by dailyfaceoff.com, written by Matt Ellis, is 6 destinations that would be suitable for trading Jacob Chychrun to. Now, Here's the rankings of them. So Toronto is ranked 11th overall in the NHL. So that's the board. So Toronto, Edmonton, Detroit, Jersey, Islanders, Minnesota. I want to take Toronto out of this right away. I don't think you are trading Jacob Chychrun to Toronto right now.
Well, hold on. Where's this?
Could not agree more.
Where's all this coming from?
I just told you.
Your email 4 hours ago, buddy.
No, I know. I read the email, but like, who's floating it out there that Chychrun's being shopped right now?
Yorkie, we've discussed that in previous shows.
No, I know, but it kind of went away for a bit. Now it's back.
No, even Frank Cervelli is. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I don't know if he's getting traded for sure.
I don't think it's for sure. I just don't think it's at the deadline. I think that they're going to move him at the draft. He's got 1 year left after this year, right? Yeah, at 4.6 or whatever it is, right?
It's such a good contract.
You're not moving that guy, man. I don't know. I know that the organization right now is not as high as the previous organization. Can you pull that screen back up, Gavin? Because I read the article kind of as it fit. Man, how fucking good would he look in Detroit right now? With what you have there? We're not doing that?
To give us. Well,
oh my God.
What are you going to give up to take Jacob Chychrun and send him to Detroit?
Oh, he can't. The last fleecing, my God, that's
hang on.
Got to take Kubalik back with them.
Let's what exactly
throw a sweetener in.
What exactly now did Ottawa? Because basically, it's what you gave Chicago that is what Kubalik is. So that's a 7th overall pick, right? And
but you can't look at it like that when you're talking about this. I know. Because the other side of me is like, how fucking good would he look in New York Islanders uniform too?
Yeah.
Like I don't argue any of that. I just don't want to. Obviously, I don't want to see him going to Toronto. If this team is trying to build next year, they don't need to play another guy that's even any tougher. But I would ship him like out west. Because I don't want to have to compete against him.
I love his shot. I love his offensive. What he can do. What he does for you offensively at under $5 million is fantastic bang for your buck. Like
But what's he gonna want?
That's the golden.
That's the thing though. Like his stats don't tell you that he's 8. Like, and he can argue that, but you can.
Wow.
You're minus 250 in your career. Sorry, I know that you played somewhere that was bad, but like, I'm not like, I don't think any GM is going to give this kid what he wants and what he thinks he's worth.
I don't know.
Yes, I know. That's why I would love to see that kid in New York, New Jersey, where Luke Hughes is coming, but he's not there yet, and you give it 2 to 3 years before he's that good. Kind of like Quinn Hughes' development as a defenseman. I don't know. I take Toronto right out of that, and then I think the rest of those teams, save for Minnesota, have a chance. I don't see Minnesota making that move right now. Minnesota's having a gut check here where we're like, what kind of team are we? We don't know. We're not as good as we thought we were. Like I had them winning the conference. So that's on me.
Some issues. Yeah.
And then I only know Steve Yzerman's not going to make that move to improve in the long haul or in the short term when he's preparing for the long haul, right? But they're wasting Dylan Larkin in his prime there, right? So maybe he thinks, we have to make the playoffs so we can have a conversation.
Don't you have to signal to your players you want to make the playoffs? Like right now they're sitting in a playoff spot.
But they signed Andrew Kopp, David Perron, all these players that should have told you that now. And they're in a playoff position. I don't think they're a playoff team. Do you? I don't feel
Detroit?
that way. Yeah,
Detroit?
No, they're gonna get washed in round 1.
But that's not the point. The point is just to make the playoffs.
For escrow?
for every team, right? Like you want to play on a team that's going into the playoffs. You don't want to be, well, we missed the playoffs again, because that's all you hear for the rest of the summer. Is this a playoff team? All they want to do is get into the postseason.
I agree with that, but I don't think those are the teams that are going to make a splash for Jacob Chikrin. I think the teams are New York, who all of a sudden just hired Patrick Wallace, and now, hey, are we back in the conversation? Sure. New Jersey is not where they're supposed to be. They're better than they're playing, and they're gonna get there. I believe that anyway. So that's a team. Minnesota's not trading for him. I hope that Toronto never trades for him, because I don't want to play against Jacob Chikrin.
Yes.
8, 6, whatever it is, times a year. There are not many teams that I could actually see making a serious splash for Jacob Chikrin at this point. And I think it comes down to extension talk. And this is why I think it's a summertime deal. Extension talk. Yeah. Does he want 6? Does he want 8? Or are we settling on the fact he's a $5 million defenseman? That has to work itself out, and I don't think you get that in time for a deadline deal.
You know what the unfortunate thing for Ottawa right now is they need a really good right shot defense. I think subtracting defensemen right now, especially NHL defensemen, is not a good thing. Especially a guy that is only 25 years old, is a great puck mover. There's a lot of other things I would be trying to do before I'm even considering moving defensemen. It doesn't make sense to me unless you've already had a conversation where you know the player is not going to sign, then you have to do it. But I'm looking at this roster and I'm like, I'll say it again. Vladimir Tarasenko makes $5 million right now. That's $5 million. Like,
I don't understand your point. This has nothing to do with the blue line.
But I'm taking that $5 million and I'm giving it to a right shot D. And when I have that right shot D, then all of a sudden you're going to get a lot more. I want to see Chikrin and Shabbat play with a really good partner that shoots right. I want to see that. And I haven't seen that. Like,
okay, but
I'll say this: Zoob's been very up and down this year. Very up and down.
He kind of flew under the radar, not being as good as he's been overvalued this year for the first time. Because I love the player, I absolutely love the player, but he's been overvalued this year. He's not as good as we're talking about. You know why? Because he's a right-handed shot defenseman that can bail people out.
Yeah, like how good would Dylan DeMello look on this team right now? Just a stable, smart, right shot D that has experience. Like, you've got Chikrin, Shabbat, and Sanderson trying to figure out, like, it was so dumb to trade for a left shot defenseman last year and not do your homework and figure out, hey, can this guy play on the right? He can't play on the right side. Like, it was just it was such a stupid trade. Like, and that's nothing against the player. Like, this team needed a right shot D, and they still need a right shot D. And I'd like to see Chikrin and Shabbat play with a Dylan DeMello type, somebody like that, because
Chabby was so fucking good when he played with Dylan DeMello when I was there, and we were the worst team in the league.
I remember.
So I've only played with a very few number of people that I would consider supremely underrated, and Dylan DeMello is one of them. Mark Mathot was one of them, right? Mark, like, think about the amount of, like, we have Erik Karlsson, Norris Trophy candidate, one of the best D to ever play the game. He made so many mistakes up the ice that Mark just erased, right? Chabby was afforded those mistakes because Dylan DeMello is not a sexy player. He just was an eraser. He'd be so good here right now. So good.
So I'm gonna tell people listening this right now. When you do what the Ottawa Senators have been doing the last couple of years, there are no partners. Like, this guy plays with that guy. This guy plays with that guy. It's like bingo balls every single year, every single time. I played defense in the league for a long time. There is a level of comfort once you start playing with somebody. You know where he's going to be. You know where to pass him the puck. You know how he talks. You know how he speaks. So when he calls for reverse, you know it's not the other team's forward trying to trick you, and then you turn it over. It's just like they really need to address that, and I'm sure that's number one on the list. But just a steady Eddie right shot D, and then to Bob's point, I'd like to see Chychrun and Shabbat play with somebody like that. And nothing against Zub, I think he's good, but they need another guy like that, and they just don't have it. And that would be number one on my shopping list.
To me, it comes down to who are your two of the three. Is it going to be Shabby and Sanderson, or is it going to be Sanderson and Chychrun?
Yeah, because there's the thing, right?
It's not going to be Sanderson and anybody else, right? Because you have to allot minutes at this point, right? Like when you're looking at like developing your team, and if you're going to put, let's just say in a great world, we have Dylan DeMello, and then you have Zub, and you have two of the three right-handers. Where do your 6 minutes go to, right? Like they're not going to guys that are going to be Jacob Chychrun. So you have to decide what your two of the three are. And to me, Chychrun's the odd man out. And like, I think Sens would love to see Chappie gone because he's making $8 million, but nobody runs the PP like Chappie. Nobody steers players with their eyes like Chappie. Like he's got a different dimension that Chychrun doesn't have. To me, Chychrun's the odd man out. But then you start to talk about contracts and it changes everything. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't see this being a deadline deal. Do you? Because like,
no.
With a year left at $5 million, that kid is worth gold.
Yeah.
He's two first round picks.
Yeah.
At $5 million? Oh my goodness!
If someone wants to make that deal, they're going to want him for this year's playoff run and for next year. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why it could get done. That's why it could get done here at the deadline if they want to go down that route and trade him. You're going to get more now at the deadline because you get probably 2 playoff runs. And
I'm taking New Jersey out of it because I'm very, very much sold on Luke Hughes. So I do think that there's a limited number of teams that can actually afford this deal. Detroit is one of them. Their defense is fucking horrific. Gosdenberg can run a PP, but he can't play defense. And you can actually make the same argument with Chychrun. So I'm starting to look at these teams and I'm like, you can't figure Edmonton's going to do it. You're already paying Darnell Nurse 9.5. You can't put another 5 on your blue line at this point, can you?
Well, New Jersey's the same way, right? With like, don't they have what is Dougie Hamilton making?
Yeah,
he's IR with Siegenthaler right now. Dougie Hamilton makes $9 million until 27-28.
Hey,
and Siegenthaler
but when that guy plays, he's worth that money.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is what they should come back. So do you have a spot necessarily for Jacob Chychrun? You're gonna have to move somebody. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I don't know how you move. I don't know that. I can't speak for any other team. I just think that like there's only a couple teams to me that can make the move, and I think Detroit's a really good trade candidate. But it's like, do you want to trade him in the division? You have to figure that out too.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I tend to start to lean towards him not being moved this year, but definitely if it happens as a summer move.
I think it's a summer trade.
I do have one player I want to talk about before we get out of here. And that's today's hot and cold performer, which brought to you by DoorDash. Everything you need, even at the last minute, just simply open up the DoorDash app and enjoy what you want from where you want. With Double Dash on DoorDash, you can order from multiple restaurants or stores in the same delivery without even additional delivery fees. So everyone can get what they want or need. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25, all uppercase letters, NATION 25. That's 25% off, $10 value, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code NATION25. Offered valid in Canada, subject to change, terms apply. I know we've said a lot about this guy lately, but Ridley Gregg, I just wanted to point out, I meant to do it at 50 games and we got sidetracked, but here's his rank with the Sens for players who have played their first 52 games with the Sens. He sits 5th in assists, he's tied for 9th in points with 26. He's 2nd in plus minus. And his PIMS, he's like, people think he's taking a lot of PIMS. Not necessarily. He's 15th in PIMS. So Gregg's 26 points ties him with Marty Havlat and Peter Schatz-Levy for 9th all time. And he's not that far behind some other guys that were key at that moment. But I just think he deserves a look at perhaps what he's been able to build in a short time frame.
Yeah, he's been good.
He's
been good.
And York, I think he's going to get better. Like I'm oddly intrigued to see how much better he's going to get because he has some more runway. Offensively. I think he's phenomenal. I love him. I love the player.
Yeah. I like how, like, for a guy that plays reckless at times and is not afraid physically we saw that the other night, he ran Rich Lane and right over. He can make high skill plays at high speed on the rush. And that's something like you see when he comes in and he can beat guys one-on-one. Like he seems to be able to play different styles. He can play reckless. He can play skilled. He's still going to have to work on the D side of things in his own zone. But that comes with time. That comes with experience. That just comes with reps. Yeah, I agree. I think he's like we were talking about yesterday. He's got a chance to be a really good, hard to play against. He's like a bigger. I like that little prick on Seattle, Yanni Gord. He's like a bigger version of Yanni Gord.
Yeah.
I love how that guy plays. Like he plays hard, he plays fearless, and he's got some skill. Ridley's bigger, but those kind of guys. But you hate playing against them because they can do everything. Remember when Tampa won that cup? How good Yanni Gord's line was?
He was phenomenal with Barkley and
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Those
Coleman.
Yes,
Blake
Coleman.
Yes.
It was Gord, Coleman, and Barkley Goodrow. That's people need to understand. Yeah, your stars are important, but it's those types of players you win championships with because they're cut from a different cloth and they're so important. I agree, Bob. I think Ridley's got a chance to be like that.
Ridley's got a chance to be like that, and I think he will be. And I think that the other thing that he has that we talk about with Claude Giroux all the time, Ridley Gregg has a computer, sees the game well, but like we talk about Claude, not fast, not athletic, but he computes the game in a different way. I think Ridley Gregg has a lot of that at a faster speed. So he's going to make more mistakes than Claude Giroux over time. But he has a knack for slowing the game down to what he sees to make offensive plays that you don't expect him to make. But man, he's got a motor that just goes. Like I think I arguably think he's untouchable, like everybody else. And he's not going to get traded because he's on the contract that he's on right now. But this is when you talk about that third line in Tampa Bay, he's exactly what Ottawa has to have all the time.
That's how you win cups. You win cups with depth and those types of players added on to your other guys you have. And Ottawa's got guys that can, pure offensive guys. I just think Ottawa needs more players like that that will they'll do anything it takes to win. And the guys, like those types of guys are so important. That's why I still think Ottawa needs to change up the mix, the makeup of this team a little bit and get more of that type of character. Yeah,
I don't disagree by any means.
My dog is staring me down right now. She knows it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, We're an hour later.
I wish I could turn the camera because she's right outside the office door just staring me down saying, when are you going to feed me?
It's usually me saying it.
And knows exactly.
I got to take
at 5:30.
Tough steak for the dog.
Right there.
I did give them, Gertie got roast, I think pork roast the other day. Like she eats very well.
I saw the video that you put out on it. Was it Twitter, Instagram with the dog stuff? Yeah. Lindsay and I watched that earlier. We're like, this is the guy that I have to host a show with.
It's the only one that listens to me out of all of you people.
That's true.
Gertie the dog.
Hey, I read that entire article today, so I want.
Yeah, and Yorkie called me about it, but apparently didn't read it. Anyway,
yeah, but you got to put that picture up. I just saw you, Charlie. It's hilarious.
He's
evil
busy.
eye.
Hold on one sec. Before we go, just a reminder: people reached out to us yesterday about how to vote for. We've been nominated, obviously, as I said yesterday, for Faces Top Sports Podcast, the Coming in Hot with Brent Wallace. I didn't write it anyway.
I love the fact that if you want Wally's email, guys, just you can sign in on it. He's done it 5 times.
This is the Brent Wallace experience. That's what we just call this podcast.
That's right. Yeah, there we go. I'll get new graphics done up. Anyway, it's under the media section. If you scroll down, just click on media, and it'll be down in sports podcast. Also, don't forget to vote for Ian Mendez. He's there for top sports reporter.
Don't worry, Wally. I voted for you, Wally. Don't worry.
A vote for me is a vote for you, Yorkie.
I didn't see my name on it.
Do we all get? I was going to say,
last time I checked, it says.
I will get both of you plaques to put up in the office.
Last time I checked, it says vote for the Brent Wallace podcast.
That's exactly what I saw. It's so much horse shit, Yorkie.
Throw some salt in your eyes and kick in the nuts.
And then run. Okay, gentlemen, we're back Thursday at 3 p.m. Ian Mendez is there. There may be someone else. I'm still working on that. But Bob sadly, his run of like 3 shows in a row is going to come to an end.
What? A month and a half in a row. Thank you very much.
No. You missed a show like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you told me I could take the option because my fiance had surgery that day. Yeah.
Okay, well, Gavin put this up. Now I got to talk to you about it. So you tweeted out the other day, my fiance is a proper decorator. I'm fairly certain she's going to hate my new Amazon order for the master bathroom. I will die on this hill. So I just want to know, what was Lindsay's reaction to the Step Brothers picture?
I did, in fact, die on the hill. And it's... I have to reassert some things, but I do want to say that I did order that picture, and that picture is at the shitter. I did not win that battle.
I'm wondering if maybe I helped you. You could put this picture up, and she might agree to it more.
Am I smoking a pipe there?
Yeah. I think this is a perfect picture.
While we're here, we're going to get her to weigh in. Come here.
Oh, we have a new guest.
Get it.
She's coming over.
Ratings boom.
So would you allow this picture? She doesn't want to be shown because whatever. But
come on, Lindsay.
Yeah. About to do that. And Salty Wally and Yorkie instead of Step Brothers. All right, did you guys hear that? You made it.
I think it's a yes.
It's a yes. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you're in, fellas.
All right, we'll work on something for the bedside table. So, good luck continuing to furnish the house.
Thank you very much. I need it. I will see you guys Monday.
All right, see you, everybody.
Thursday option.
Oh God, my dog.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.